Namaste, Siri ma'am.
Namaste. How are you?
Ma'am. Fine. So, a very warm welcome all to this wonderful episode of Ancient Indian Wisdom for Transformational Coaching. I
Thank you.
thank I thank International Coaching Federation and Siri ma'am Satsur for providing the opportunity and platform for interaction. Let me introduce my dear most loving gurus first. Namaste, Satsur. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes, you
yes,
are.
quite audible.
So, Namaste, viewers. So, let me introduce my gurus first. We have with us Sri Guru Prakash Kaur Khalsa and Satpuram Singh Khalsa. They are the spiritual gurus of excellence, foundation of Alpha Stars Academy of Excellence, ICF MCC coaches, and Dr. Richard Bandler's licensed trainers for NLP practitioner and master practitioner. Their self spiritual journey started 30 years ago. They work with many trainers, coaches, leaders across the world. They have been helping people achieve the best by enabling individuals connect to their beingness, effecting deep transformation in their lives. They have, to their credit, more than 4,000 plus coaching hours. They have developed a very unique coaching model called innermost shift coaching model, shortly called IMSC, which has evolved, out of 25 years of research, 10,000 hours of research by them. I have no words to adequately express their contribution in gifting this priceless coaching model to the mankind. Drawing this model has been evolved by drawing from ancient Indian wisdom, yoga somatic mindfulness, and integrating with Western science, NLP, and various other tools. This IMSC model deepens the yoga somatic awareness. One learns how the uh, patterns, habits are stored in the body, how the energies, pulsations, vibrations, sensations move inside the body. This IMSC coaching, once one undergoes, it is a very, very profound process. One is navigated subtly to the inner core of beingness, and one experiences multiple shifts and progress during this profound process. All the inner layers of the being are opened up, they blossom effortlessly like petals of the flowers, and all the scaffoldings, perceptual filters, limited beliefs fall off. Lot of unconscious integration happens, and many hidden potentials show up, manifest. One is put into auto mode of success. So this is a very unique model developed by these wonderful divine souls. And a quick introduction of myself. I am Nageswari, working in Steel Authority of India Limited as a general manager. I'm heading the Finance and Accounts Department of Western India, having more than 30 plus years of corporate working experience. I am also innermost coach and author. My life purpose is to help individuals evolve rapidly and blossom in their inner being, live divine life in boundless joy and harmony. I like to share my personal experience with my gurus, Siri ma'am and Sat sir. Um, I've underwent coaching with them for last 1 year. As I was into my spiritual sadhana for last 25 years, and I was seeing people, needlessly suffering, struggling in ignorance without any guidance. So was having a very deep aspiration. My heart was burning with the aspiration to help the people, to reach out to them and no, to transfer the spiritual wisdom. But I was not having the knowledge or the practical tools how to transfer the spiritual wisdom and bring joy into their lives. It was at that moment, last May 2022, by divine grace, the universe has showed them to me, and I was immediately drawn in, and they resonated in me, and I immediately enrolled, underwent 3 months coaching under them. The result is many profound shifts happened in me. It is a very profound process I can't adequately express, but to give you one example, 3 months of coaching under them, in the next 5 months, I wrote two books on a very rare and profound subject. It was a challenging subject about the next evolution of the man, the manifestation of supramental species in the earth. In fact, the book is the titled Prayers of the Body for Divine Life. It has more than 12,000 prayers, though I intended to start with 2,000 prayers, but I ended up crossing
Oh,
12,000.
very
So
nice.
why I'm telling this, the what was hidden, thank you, what was hidden, dormant, and I was pregnant with last 25 years, it is Satsar and Siri ma'am coaching which made me to deliver. Such is the power of the coaching and IMSC transformational coaching. Such is the power of the coaching. My soulful gratitude to them. And now coming to the context of this ancient Indian wisdom for transformational coaching, in the book Life Divine by Sri Aurobindo, when he talks about evolution of man, he says, universe is created for delight. Everything in the universe seeking the delight. Man is seeking for delight by self expression and self experience. The proportion in which man self expresses his potentials, he experiences the delight. But when the self expression of man is hurt, he recoils and feels the pain. Each individual is a piece of creative intelligence of the creator, a God particle trying to self express, self evolve, and blossom in the infinite. In fact, Sri Aurobindo says nature awaits the outflowering of the infinite in the individual. So I'm curious to know, from the individual's evolutionary point of view, drawing from this wisdom of man seeking delight by self expression of his potentials, how transformational coaching helps the individual in self expression of inner potentials.
So you are on mute.
Yeah. So there is no match to what has been ultimately expressed by Sri window. And I have so much regard the Savitri and the several verses she has written, and the integral yoga is the integration of all aspects of being to find its expression. And I mean, it's a timeless wisdom is unfolded. And I also admit that no, we are not gurus. There is only one guru, the ultimate holder of all the particles, and releases all the particles in the universe to only find him back. So we are merely striving human beings. People may refer us anything, but with our kind of a core ideology, we consider that there is only one ultimate supreme guru, and that's what we need to connect to. And it resides within and outside around. And when you say the self-expression, yes, it is that particle, minutest, a micro intelligence within us. When can form into a such a wonderful body? First, to appreciate that. People say body is finite expression. My God, how do you say that? Nothing that has been created and living being is finite. Okay, just because we can see something in a shape, does it mean that it is finite? I mean, thousands of doctors, researchers are working on human body, and they have yet not reached to its depth, that the vastness of it, the intelligent system put into it. So doesn't it reflect everything, that the nature of that supreme intelligent particle or God particle, whatever you might call it? Okay, people are averse to certain names. So I would say that intelligence living in it. So when that is existing in every fiber of my being, yes, I need to awaken to the guru within, and that's called supreme guru state. When I awaken to the revealer within, when we awaken to that intelligence, allowing you to find intelligence and recognizing that everywhere, because this is this mini lab given to us to, because we can't work in the whole cosmos. So we can work on our limited physiological sense, and all the layers are present. That's how the transformational coaching has a direct connection with it. No matter what be the situation of life, the revealer, the awakener, and the seeker is present within. And based on this, not only understanding and knowingness, but this truth, being with this truth, in that state of beingness only, we can understand. So, like shadow cannot understand us, but we can understand our shadow. Okay, so being with the truth, we can understand that okay, what is because of us, not because of something we are. So, I am, therefore, there is everything. It means as long as this life is finding expression, there is everything. So, this consciousness that we being alive and that intelligence present is the core of the truth of the transformational coaching, and that's where from the solution to the things and challenges and even our own avarans, our own limitations, our own stuck points, our own stuck state can be understood, right? And the whole process that how the Indian yogic wisdom tells us that the way different phases of life and in the age of 7 is the first ego development, that every age of 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, if you look into all phases of life, so 0 to 7 we are totally powerless state. We have no power of ourselves. But at the age of 7, when we start finding the expression through our physiology and our voice and the language and ideas that has been imposed upon us, that's where we kind of become rebellious. So we live a life of challenging what we know and we can more know. And that's further the ego development. So this process, if understood, we can understand the challenges the human beings are going through in their development process and the transformation that they are seeking for in every stage of life. So at 14 to 21, again there is a challenge and we qualification become our identity. Then at 14, the kind of we are male or a female, the way we develop within our sexual and experiential needs becomes our identity, and we want to safeguard being feminine and being male, okay, and refrain from mixing, and we further isolate ourselves, but yet we want people of the same ideas, nature, maybe sex, and 21 to 28 because we take over job and winning becomes our identity, possessing symbolic things we possess become our identity. So between 20 and 35, then and one the nurturing the family, I'm raising up a family, I'm making big deal. My achievement become my identity. But at 40, nearly in the 31, 42, something awakens because all the things that you have um, brought out from this false mind, okay, they seem real, but the sense of hollowness is felt. So that philosophy, that revelation by our ancestors and the yogic philosophy and the yogic phases of life reveals to us there is a hollowness within. I mean, everything seems to be now, departing phase. So the inner calling awakens. And from 42 and 49, half the life gone, half the life may or may not be left. And we become conscious of, oh my God, I need to contain myself. And everything that I have produced, I seem to be oh nothing. Even the family wants to find the children want to find their own way, right? And the things don't mean much. And more the things we possess with the base of experiences, the more the hollowness increase, the more the attachment troubles us. And all this has been revealed in our yogic wisdom, in the wisdom of truth, I would say, in the wisdom to uplift humanity. So our rishis were not rishis of Indians or Hindus or Sikhs or Isai. They were the researcher of humanity. And they have given a profound insight and a model which we use in our basis of our coaching. that you may address and find the basic need of all the people of different phases of life, and then the knower within, the light within, that brilliance within or the radiance within, that Sri Aurobindo described. Okay, and this now want to find an expression in helping the people to get in touch with the same light. So they can't see the light in me; they can see the light in themselves, right? And helping them to remove those layers and integrating and not rejecting any part of the whole being is what is a real solution. Because if I reject certain parts, then there's a conflict within me. Okay, so this is how this wonderful philosophy and the transformational coaching, they taking deep dive into the kind of problems we have and dive into the solution we have, both lies in our potential. Okay, so all the potential fears, problems also lies in our deep unconscious, and all the solution also lies in deep unconscious, unconscious. So the only revealer is the revealer of truth within. And that part when we start respecting the guru. Okay, and that state is what we say. Being in a guru state means you are awakened to the respect the guru faculty has. Okay, and then you transcend to understand the real and the ultimate guru. Correct? And I think all the people in who have shown up in this world, and including Sri Bindu, has given us a pointer towards that ultimate. Okay, and that's what the coaching uh, undergoes through in the process of coaching. So my answer may be longer, but all that the inside Guru revealed, I just let it for the welfare and for the benefit of the whole audience. And that's my answer.
Thank you, Sir. It's a
Mm.
very wonderful, loving explanation, very profound. You covered everything in beautifully in a very short answer. Sri ma'am, you like to share something
No,
about
I think
this?
we can go to the next. He's already explained a lot about it, right? Yeah.
Fine. Now, when ancient wisdom talks of self realization, self expression, self manifestation, it also speaks of inner outer correspondence. No, inner moves the outer. Inner is the determinant of the outer. When we reverse our consciousness in our inner, outer circumstances of life reverses too. Our outer life is a reflection of our inner life. Outer poverty of life is a reflection of our inner poverty of consciousness. Our outer surface is finite, our inner deeper consciousness is infinite. When we act from the outer, that is finite, the results are finite. But when we act from the inner on the outer, the results are infinite.
Hmm.
Like how Creator created this creation from a supreme state of consciousness. Like that, when any individual, anything created by the individual from his supreme state of consciousness will result in great accomplishments. This is the power possessed by the inner on the outer. As innermost shift coaches, we are aware that inner shifts create amazing results.
Hmm.
Though the results appear to be magic, but there must be logic in this process. As IMSC model itself is based on the wisdom of inner outer correspondence, I'm curious to know what is the process involved in this double movement of navigating from outer to the inner and acting from the inner on the outer.
Hmm. So I think it's a very beautiful, beautifully described, Nageshwari, in what you have written. It's very wonderfully done. And the innermost shift coaching is absolutely based on the ancient Indian wisdom, where we're talking of transformation. And it's very correctly said, any transformation which is within, it reflects outside. And when you're working from outside, because we have a limited choice, we have a limited knowledge. If you're talking of the outer knowledge, and if you're seeking the information from outside, how much can we retain? How much, even if you're reading, somebody's reading, kind of books, or somebody is getting the knowledge from Google or wherever you're getting it, if you do not imbibe it and you do not take it to your deep core and ponder over it, and with that wisdom you start working on it, then obviously if you do not do it, we are still living in a finite circumstances. But if we start working with the inner consciousness, we allow the wisdom to act on us, we allow it to show us things, and then when the inner shift happens, the outer shift also happens. And sometimes, when we're talking in the transformational coaching and the inner shift coaching model, when you are working on your inner self and you get transformed, one of the very profound things which we talk about and which is coming from my mind right now is, when you change, the circumstances might or might not change. We cannot, kind of give 100%, to that. If I'm changing outside, will change. It might take some more time to change it, right? And especially when we talk of, transformational coaching in your relationships, whether at home, in profession, or in any context you're talking of, the moment you start working on yourself, your energy shift happens. And all these shifts, when we're talking of innermost shift, it also affects at different layers, right? So we have different, like we have five koshas what we talk about. So we have, first is the Annamaya kosha. So when you start working on your inner self, your physical self starts to transform. You become more relaxed, your mind, so your body is much more in coherence within its own self, the system works more profoundly. Then the second, it also affects your energy, which we call it as a pranmaya kosha. So the effect starts happening at that level. So I'm just talking from two different perspectives, just to, kind of coincide with the ancient Indian wisdom. So the whole energy shifts. When this energy shifts, this sends vibrations in the world, and the outer starts to shift, right? It might be a little longer process, because when your energy is shifting, your mental thought process also shifts, which also affects our manmaya kosha, right? We are working in your mind. So when you're shifting, energy shifts, your mental thought process shifts, your thinking shifts, your thoughts are shifting. And then, because of that, even more knowledge comes to us. Everything which is happening around us becomes like a feedback, right? Okay, this I'm doing, what is it happening to me? Am I doing this correctly? Is this outcome do I need? So you start working on, kind of the knowledge. You start even gaining knowledge. You start talking to people. Maybe you start reading the scriptures and you enhance your this knowledge. And once all this gets aligned, then obviously we are in our blissful potential, what we call as a Anandmaya Kosha. So the journey is inward and outward, both, what you correctly said. When we change inward, the outward does change, but sometimes it takes a longer time, and we have to have that patience and resilience for it to affect the others. You know, a very quick example is, sometimes when I'm doing relationship coaching, so people, this one of the spouses say, Siri, you are doing coaching for me, I'm changing, but what about my husband or wife? What is going to do? I said, we are not working with them, we are working with you. But if you want him to change, you be consistently on this change process and consistently display your different behaviors, what you have learned from here. Because especially people around you, they see you with some perception, and that perception they hold it for a very long time. So if you keep holding your change and being this innermost shift yourself, people will start to observe, yes, there is some difference. Now she does not talk, or he does not talk, and this person has become much more active listener. So definitely the world outside is a world inside what we are creating, because in any case, whatever is happening outside, in our mind what we create is a reality. Outside is never a reality. Whatever might happen outside, the moment you let it affect you, that creates your inner reality. And if we shift that reality, even when we are talking to people, when we are responding to people, when somebody talks to me, and my inner shift, when I create an innermost shift, okay, this person is talking to me, and let me hear it out. This person is not coming to my ego, this person is not affecting my ego, but some words are being said. Let me understand and let me respond accordingly. Then obviously the outer will shift. So that's very, very truly said. And the innermost shift coaching model absolutely takes care of it. Working on your inner self slowly, slowly, so that it creates a result which is different outside. And definitely it affects the whole universe also. That's what I believe in.
Yeah. Thank you, Sri ma'am. It's wonderful explanation. As you said, yeah, there is inner. Of course, the influence of inner on the outer takes time. But one goes to the higher consciousness level, all merges one and it radiates and influences and transforms. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for your beautiful answer. And now this you have written a book, no, Best Truly. In that book, last chapter, pinning a hole and opening a hole of awareness. In that chapter, you talk of initiating oneself to open to the whole of awareness. You say, you said in the chapter, despite several possibilities existing, individuals lock in a shell. Problems remain as problems because of one's tunnel vision. Human beings are not meant to be stuck in the falsehood of tunnel vision. One can shift to peripheral vision. You have devised a technique for this shift to happen by tracing to the ancient method of meditation. And you said by conscious practice, one can integrate this shift in one's way of being. And you said that by effecting this shift, one's height of awareness, the consciousness, and peripheral vision becomes natural. So you also mentioned that one can effect this shift in few minutes because humans have intense capacity to change in moments. I'm curious to know what is this process involved in shifting from tunnel vision to peripheral vision?
Sir, you are on mute. Sir, you are on mute.
Still on mute, sir. Not
Sir,
audible.
still on.
Right?
Now it's
Not
okay.
audible.
We
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So, pinning the hole is, you're in a pitch dark room, or outside the world could be everything. But to look at the world, you don't need to break all the walls. If you pin a small hole, from that small hole you can view the whole world. Okay? So, this indicates that in the veils that we are wearing, and all the layers may be huge, and there could be even thick walls. So don't struggle to gather your force and try to bring the inner earthquake. Okay, it may not be possible, but today is a laser world. Okay, laser technology. So pin a small hole to see the whole world. That means let first be a small pinning, and a tunnel vision will change into the whole peripheral vision. From that hole, you can see the whole periphery of existence. So from a distance, that will be a small hole, but if you come closer and closer to that small hole and a pave that you have made through the, the way you have paved, you can actually begin seeing the whole world. So even if it could be a relationship challenge, it could be a massive challenge in your leadership or otherwise problems of life. So let's the virus was there, it was the whole world. So we were not to go out and kill the virus everywhere. We were pinning a hole by developing that what can be a small vaccine, okay, and that can in fact go to the whole periphery. So rather than that time viewing the whole world is suffering, begin to find pin a hole in what can now change this micro into whole macro existence. Now that's the way to work at the things. Like there was a time when even in a physical body, when people had some trouble, they will cut off on the whole body, okay, and then treat the organ and reseal it. But now see now, we have to pinning hole in a laser-like small tunnel. Okay, we just land up precisely there, and people can next day walk out of the um, hospitals. So this Shalya Kriya, I mean, it's the old ancient wisdom technology that we are not to take the whole person as bad. So even the whole relationship is not bad, whole leadership is not bad, whole world is not bad. Okay, all the people who are trying to become activist, revolutionary, they are not bad. If you pin a hole there, okay, and find out that what exactly is we can treat right now, the whole thing gets solved. So for that way, there has to be some inner expansion first. Okay, and inner expansion happen when you allow your even eyes to dilate. So there is a peripheral vision, and you open up your connection with the larger inner vortex of seeing things, hearing and feeling things from a different perspective. So it geologically change every damn thing inside you. So they got soft eyes even. So people love soft toys, okay, in the beginning. And what in left, what in eye, what in word help is soft eyes, okay? So change soft toys into soft eyes. And that's like looking nowhere, thinking nowhere, letting nothing affect, and sense that inner expansion and feel so connected because that's real truth. And being connected with the wholesomeness, you become get in touch with the handsomeness within you, just in your hand. Okay? And that's where you start gathering more momentum. Okay? Like a snowball. So no matter, whole relationship is never bad. Whole leadership is never bad. Okay? Whole word is never bad. Okay? Even whole of you is not bad. Whole. Okay? And begin to see the light on the other side. And that's good enough to take you there. The wall will not appear you. That wall. Okay? That's how it means.
Wonderful. So that is what it said. No, there is a significance of the insignificance. Nothing is insignificant in this universe. Everything has got its own
That's so
significance.
significant.
And once we open to it, then sky is the limit. Everything is inner. And I think we are through the session. So I thank you so much. I thank International Coaching Federation for providing this opportunity. And thank you, Sat Sir, Siri ma'am, for this wonderful interaction. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, viewers. Thank you.